An update that I will be going live today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully you guys can join me. So I wanted to talk about Loyal. A lot of people don't talk about Loyal too much. He's kind of sort of quiet. He also appeared even at Carbonation that he kind of sort of stayed to himself. And I can see why, because the last photogenic memory that I have in my head of Loyal was him being slapped by Natureboy, and it really made me sick to my stomach. It was no surprise that allegedly, when he did in fact leave after Natureboy got arrested, that he stole some items from him, which is karma, and also some hard drives. Now, I was looking at this TikTok video that he did. He posted it on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel and also on his IG page about karma. And I feel as though the message in a subtle way is towards Natureboy. And I think people need to listen to this karma TikTok that he put on these social media handles, because I think that low key, even though we have ways of dealing with our pains and getting through our troubled times in our own different way, I think that because they've been subjected to being forced to be online and scrutinized from the hands of their master teacher, Natureboy, that this is how they express themselves, by getting on here and in subtle ways talking without talking and saying things, but it's said in general, like it could be something you need to hear.
Is the thing about karma, and what people don't seem to understand, is that karma is understood mathematically. The energy that you put into this universe is always going to come back to you. It might not come back to you in the same way, but it's always going to return to you in some way, shape, or form. This reality is a mere reflection of your mind, and everything that you're experiencing, you're doing it to yourself. There's no invisible entity to blame, and there's nobody else to blame. It's for you to take responsibility of your own life and understand that it's your actions that put you in the situation that you're in. And we simply understand this through the Hermetic principle of cause and effect. Every action that you take has an equal reaction. In order to change the reality that you're experiencing, you simply need to change the way that you're thinking and the way that you're moving. Make sure y'all follow for more. Reflected Life from the Most High, Chief, 3 God. Peace to God.
Yeah, you need to hear, but it's really directed towards Natureboy. I don't know what's going on with Loyal. I hope that he is not pushing the 3 God. I do see in this IG post, he says, reflected light from the Most High, Chief 3 God. That disturbs me a little bit, because we have to break those chains. And whatever you say to yourself, you can, one, speak it into existence, and then two, if you say it enough, you'll start to believe it. Even if you're saying it at the time and you don't believe it, you can stop believing it. And this man here is something you don't want to believe in and that you want to get far away from. I mean, he's still a threat, as we see him being in jail. If there are people like, for an example, Juju, who are representing him and thinking that he really is a god, and that the knowledge that he was spewing around the community was facts and truthful, and also sincerely knowledge that Natureboy was trying to give to the community to build us up and not to drag us down. And we know that that could be farther from the truth. He was more or less trying to drag us down, not build us up. And, you know, they're still young. It might take Loyal like 10 years from now. If he's 22, he might snap out of it when he's 32. But that could be far too late, because how many younger people or people his age are listening to these messages and applying the knowledge, the same knowledge that Loyal learned from Natureboy and is now teaching to the environment, the people. You know, there's a thing called, if we don't educate ourselves, history will in fact repeat itself. And I think that we need to be aware of this, and not turn a blind eye to it, and see that this affects all aspects of life. And all these people have to do, once a month, once a week, once a day, change one people's life, and it's not for the better. and then those people will multiply and change other people's lives that are not for the better. And then this world's going to be in more chaos than it started. So I just hope that Loyal is honestly in good spirits. I hope that this is a passing phase and that he realizes the message that he's sending, it should be sent from Loyal himself and how he's feeling and what he wants to do to help humanity, and not feel as though he's doing the job that Nature Boy can't do because he's locked down. Because that job that you're doing for Nature Boy should no longer be a job that you're doing. Nature Boy is in jail for a reason. You don't want to represent someone like Nature Boy. He's a demonic force, and if you're a real true spiritual person that you want to help humanity, you have to now stand with yourself, sit with yourself, spread the knowledge. Okay, if you learned it from Nature Boy, now spread it from a distance because you have no other choice, and teach people how to live in harmony and be in sync with themselves, taking Nature Boy out the equation. And I also want to speak on Juju. I think today in my live, I want you guys to listen also to him and the grand delusions and the mixed up emotions that apparently Juju's going through with not deciphering that Nature Boy has been exposed to the point that all of what you learned, all of what he was teaching you or how he was treating you was a fraud. And, I would think that Juju would be appreciative that Nature Boy is now having to, now that justice have been served, I would think that Juju would be grateful for that. And he will look at it like, yeah, a little bit of my life has been wasted, but now it's time for me to do me and not be still pushing the 3 God. He just seems like he's a very angry boy right now. And I don't think that he's happy where Nature Boy's at, in the position that Nature Boy's in. And he is really, truly supporting Nature Boy out of all the Carbonation members. I would not be surprised if we see Juju appear back at Carbonation, especially if Juju has some sort of a welfare check coming in with food stamps, or he may have gotten on some sort of disability, or like SSI or SSDI check. I'm quite sure that the offer would still be open to let Juju come back, because he's one of the falling disciples who is still fighting for the freedom of Nature Boy. And I don't understand why, because he looked like one of the scariest boys over there in Carbonation. I saw these videos of him looking terrified. But we have to understand, when you're an abused victim, the way we look at life is differently than in the same lens that people who have not experienced being abused. People that are not being abused in life think at life in a more practical manner, where people who have been abused don't. So we can't really be too judgmental. I hope he also snaps out of it, because it's just not the way to go, in life. He's still even preaching about how we shouldn't be working a Babylon job. That's just a reflection on Juju, that he feels as though he shouldn't be working. He's a young boy, and if he preaches this, mark my word, another 5 years, if he just reprograms and brainwashes himself in believing what the knowledge, which to me is fake knowledge, that Nature Boy taught him is to be the truth, he's going to be homeless. I wouldn't be surprised if we walked past him in the street, panhandling, begging for change, and his life just, over before it even begins. We all know that that was what Nature Boy's plans were for these people. Not a future of prosperity, but a future like Nature Boy had, of just dealing with demons and not being happy with oneself inside and treating others the way that you truly feel about yourself, and trying to let this history repeat itself in other families, because misery likes company. Nature Boy was a miserable entity, and he continues to be from a distance. I don't know what the fate is for any of these ex-carbonation members. I do wish them well, but I hope that they snap out of it for life or death purposes for their own self, sooner than later.